Hello and welcome to Faithfully Stampin' with Jennifer Helm. I am Jennifer Helm, the Faithful Stamper, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Today I have for you a cute little treat box. This is a quick and cute slider box. I saw my wonderful friend Dory of Stampin' Always with Dory make this box a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was adorable, and I just really love the flexibility you have with this box for different things that you can put in it. So I thought I would share it with you today. You can see, very simple, it's just an outer wrap and then a little slide box, and this one I have about a dozen Hershey Kisses in. And I'm gonna teach you how to make this today. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the base of the box. And the base of the box is a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 by 7, so it's not quite square. And what you're going to do is score all four sides at 1 inch and 2 inches. So I'll hold this up a little closer so you can hopefully see. I apologize for my lighting, it's a little different at the moment. But I just scored at 1 and 2 inches on all four of the sides. So you can just rotate it. If you have one of our scoreboards, it makes it very easy to do that. I figured you didn't need to see me score it dozens of times. So once we've scored it on all four sides, you can see this is going to be the bottom of the box, and then we'll form our sides. So the first thing we're going to do is take a bone folder and burnish all the score lines. So I like to fold on those 2-inch lines and then pull back and score on the 1-inch line, and then just turn it and do that on all the sides. Obviously, you can do this however it works best for you. All right, one more. Then what I do once my score lines are burnished is I flip it over. So this is the inside of the box, kind of with the raised score lines. And I flip it over, so this is the outer bottom of the box. And I forgot to bring my scissors over, so let me remedy that. We are going to start forming the box. So what we're going to do on each corner is we're going to take off the 3 outer squares. So we want to leave this one, but cut off these 3 squares on each corner of the box. So you'll kind of fall into your own rhythm of how you want to do this. I tried it a bunch of different ways, and there really is no good way, no fast way. Try to keep your cuts as close to the score lines and straight along your rectangular panels, because that's the side of your box. And so you want the box to have a nice crisp look to it. But you can see this doesn't take terribly long. This is my 3rd corner already. It would be nice if we could eliminate this step, but unfortunately, no such luck. All right, so one more little box to cut off here. Come on. Okay, so give it up. There we go. So you're going to be left with a shape like this. And if you remember, this was not perfectly square. So one side is going to have panels that are slightly longer than the other, and it's this one. So I'm going to rotate it like this. So I'd have my long panels at the top. Technically, I don't think it matters terribly much for this next step, but this is just the way that I figured it out, and I figured I'll teach you the way that I know. So when you have those 2 long panels at the top and bottom, what you're going to do is come along this last remaining little square. You're going to cut up to the score line, and then you're going to taper, because this is the piece that we're going to fold in to make the box. And it's just easier if you don't have excessive amounts of cardstock. And so you'll just rotate 180 to continue to do the flaps. And there's no like set way. You don't have to be absolutely precise. You just want to remove a little bit of those, of the cardstock, to make it easier on you when you assemble the box. Okay. So now I'm going to get my little bits out of the way. And here we have what your box will look like. I'm going to share with you some tricks. First of all, I find it a lot easier to put the, oh, I didn't show you. Can you see the pretty paper at the bottom of the box? So we're going to go ahead and line that. You don't have to do this step, but it does make for a nice surprise when your gift recipient opens the box. But I found it easier to do it now instead of after I folded up the box. It's a little harder to get it straight and glue it down. So if you do it now, it's easy peasy. So for the inside of the box, you want a piece of designer series paper that is 3 3/8 of an inch wide and 2 7/8 of an inch tall. So I'm going to get my adhesive out. For this step, you don't need anything special. Any adhesive will do. We'll get into the rest of the adhesive here in just a minute. And it is going to fit very neatly in the square here at the bottom. So I just kind of center it as best I can. You have very little leeway around, so you can probably see why it's easier to do it now. Okay? Now we're going to form the box. I'm going to be honest with you. Dory glued her box. I glued this first box. We do not have all the time in the world for me to wash my hands as many times as I got glue on my fingers when I put this box together. So I just don't get along well with glue. I make a mess. So I decided to try something different for mine. If you're a glue girl, glue it. If you're glue challenged like me, I have an alternative for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my tear-in tape, and and a clear block with a straight edge. This is my favorite trick. I'm going to put tear-in tape on all these long panels. It doesn't have to be terribly close to the edge. We're just going to encourage them here to stay down where you want them. If you're gluing, I would do this step second, but if you're using the tear-in tape like me, go ahead and do the tear-in tape now on the 4 panels. Then go ahead and flip it over. And what we're going to do is we want glue or adhesive here on these panels because that's what we're going to fold in to create the box. Now, if you have large glue dots, I think that would probably work. Our little mini ones, definitely not. You'd need 4 of them on there, and that would be a pain. I'm taking my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm going to very gently put it on these panels. And I say very gently because I am finding lately that I am very heavy-handed and my cardstock wants to tear. And it gets on my nerves, and I think I realize that I'm pressing too hard. So I'm trying to be gentler and not tear my cardstock. I find it easier to do this all 4 tabs at a time. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to create 1 corner. You just want to match your corners straight like so and pinch. If you're using glue, you'll do the same thing. I just recommend doing that 1 at a time. Glue on a corner and then fold in and line up. You will have to hold it a smidge longer if you're using green glue just to make it set. But I can't tell you the amount of times I had glue all over the place, which is not good when you're trying to keep your projects nice and neat. So, whoop, last corner. You can see why you want to keep your edges as straight as possible so that you have a nice, gorgeous box when you're finished. Okay, now you can fold these panels out a little bit. If you're using glue, now you can put your glue on here 1 at a time. Or if you're using tear-in tape like me, go ahead and peel it all off. It doesn't affect the sturdiness of the box. It's just how messy do you want to be. And like I said, I will not be ashamed to admit, glue and I just don't get along. So now fold your panels in and give them a good pinch. I like to do the opposing sides first, usually the long ones. and then the two ends. And then what I like to do is come back with my fingers and just pinch really good at each corner. And that way I'm just making sure that my tabs are staying. I had like a box where the tab wanted to pull out. I guess I didn't press hard enough. So I just like to pinch those little corners and make sure they stay. And look, we've already got our slider box done. So this isn't really complicated. And once you get the hang of it, you can make a bunch of these. If you want to make them for desk favors, shower favors, I think these would be great on a, if you give your coworkers little gifts around the holidays. Wouldn't this be cute to just leave on their desk? And I'll give you some other suggestions for what fits in it in a little bit. So let's work on the outer wrap. So this outer wrap is a piece of cardstock, and I don't think I mentioned, this is Old Olive. It's 3 3/4 of an inch wide by 8 3/4 of an inch long. We're going to score the 8 3/4 inch side at 1 inch, 4 1/8, 5 1/8, and 8 1/4. So I went ahead and pre-did that because you guys know how to score, right? So there's your little snapshot for note-taking or screenshotting. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and burnish our score lines. This last one, be careful with the small one. If I'm going to mess it up, that's where I'm going to do it, right there. So this will come together and be the wrap for our box. Now, I noticed when I was looking at my boxes this morning that I did some wrong. It's not really a big deal. It doesn't look terrible, but I put the small flap on the outside. I guess I wasn't thinking when I put this together. And I did that on a couple of my samples. And like I said, it doesn't look bad. It's not like you go, ew, that looks yucky. Especially if it's neat. It looks fine. But if you put your glue, so you've got your kind of bumps from your score lines, that's going to be the inside. And we're making the wrap here. So if you put your glue or tear and tape here, which I've lost it. I don't have that much on my craft station, but I'm still managing to lose things. Oh, and I ran out of tape. Okay, so I knew I was coming down to the wire here. All right, I'm going to be brave and bold and hope for the best here, because I'm out of, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be brave here and use my Stampin' Seal Plus. Looks like I'm placing an order for tear and tape. And this is, if it was narrower, I probably wouldn't have done that. But, all right. So, back to how I had it before. With my fold and my little panel on the top. And then I'm going to fold down the 1 inch panel. And there we go. So this is just going to slide on top of the box. One thing I love about this box is it doesn't quite go to the edges. So it's not like you have to worry about, oh my gosh, should I cut my paper just right? If you cut it with the dimensions, you have a little bit of play here. And so you have a little bit of overhang, so you don't have to worry so much about the perfection with it. Hope you understand what I mean there. Now, if you want, you can actually decorate the sides of the box. I opted not to do that, but you could use strips of paper that are 3/4 of an inch tall and decorate the sides of the box. Up to you. So, just threw things on the floor. So now let's go ahead and decorate the top of the box. So the DSP for the top of the box is very similar to the size for inside. It's 3.5 inches wide and 2 7/8 of an inch tall. Some people were using the same dimensions. I don't know if it was just me. It was too snug a fit, so I took another 1/8 of an inch off for the piece inside. So this is just a little bit bigger, 3.5 inches wide. This paper is from our Floral Impressions DSP. It's new. You can purchase it today. Our new annual catalog just went live. There are so many beautiful things in it, and I cannot wait to show you more now that I'm able to share the entirety of the catalog with you. Okay, so I'm just gonna, if you have directional paper, before you go ahead and decorate the box, just make sure you're putting things together. Not that you can't just switch the box around, but now here's an important step. Press gently if you've got this already assembled so you don't smush the box. Tried to do that once a little too hard myself yesterday. Okay, look at that. Isn't that sweet? I just love this paper. It's so pretty. Now for the next step, we're going to put some ribbon on the box. What's nice is we kind of make it look like you have to untie the bow to open the box, but you don't. So it's kind of like a faux look. So I have some of our white woven ribbon. This is 1/2 inch. I love it. It's kind of linen-y looking. Makes beautiful bows. I've got my ribbon saver on. If you haven't checked it out, I did a ribbon saver video with a fabulous idea from a fellow consultant. So you can look for that here on the YouTube channel. Okay. I like to cheat. I am not good at tying bows altogether, so I've lost my tape. Right in front of me. Does anybody else have that problem? Literally right in front of my face, and I can't see it. So I like to measure my ribbon. I'm gonna put it as close to the center as I can get here. Let me turn it this way. Better visual for me. And tack it down with a piece of Scotch tape, because we're gonna cover this up. Now I can finish wrapping the ribbon. See, I almost pressed too hard and smushed my box. I'm apparently more heavy-handed than I think I am. And there we go. Now, we're gonna cover that up. We're gonna do a little stamping here. I'm losing all sorts of things. Good gracious. Okay. Apparently I just put it away. We had a storm blow through last night, so it upset my technique here. All right. We're going to decorate the top. So I have a piece of basic white cardstock. We've thrown in a new color. The 12 by 12 is now called Whisper White. So now I have a new name to learn and keep straight. So the 12 by 12 used to be Whisper White, I think. I think it's Whisper White. Now I'm confused. Now I'm thinking it's Willow White. Whew, too many names, right? Anyway, basic white cardstock. Enough rambling. I'm going to use Old Olive ink, and my stamp set is the Bright Borders set. This is carrying over from our Spring Mini, so I'm going to use this one here and the thank you as well. Was very excited this was carrying forward, and the punch that coordinates with it is carrying forward as well. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to stamp this way, I think. I think that will serve me better when I punch. Beautiful. Some really cute frames with this set. And then my words, I'm using Berry Burst, which is the pink here. These are clear photopolymer stamp. That's why I have the extra little cushion. But I can see that I've got enough ink on the stamp, and I know to be careful because I have a little extra up there on the top that I don't want to get on my paper. So firm pressure, don't rock it. That's how you get that extra ink on your papers, when you rock it. All right, so now I'm gonna take our To The Point label punch. I like to label them so I remember the names. I can only hold so much information in my brain. I'm gonna go ahead and punch this out, like so. Now, this is nice, but I thought it kind of just disappeared into the box. So I'm going to go ahead. I punched another one of the same punches out of Night of Navy, and I'm going to put some adhesive along the bottom here. I just cut it in half. I punched the shape and cut it in half. And I'm just going to add a little pop of color. It extends the shape a little bit, but it also kind of gives it a color. It draws your eye and breaks up that white on white. Just like that, see? So now, I'm gonna grab some dimensionals. I'm working on lots of sheets of little ones. So I'm putting them on the outside so they don't conflict with the ribbon on the box. Peel off the backing. rid of the backing. These things follow me all over the house. Again, gentle pressure. Now I'm going to come back to my ribbon for 1 second and make a bow. I'm much better at tying them here than I am trying to do the whole thing at one time. And this ribbon does tie lovely bows. Okay. I think that will do. It's trying to get a little twisty on me. And then what I'm going to do to trim this other end here is bring out my glue dots. Apparently I was putting things away this morning when I shouldn't have been. I'm going to put the glue dot, or the bow, right on the glue dot. Peel that off. And then attach it right here at the top, like so. And now we need a little bling. I know all my girls love bling. So I have our new in color flat pearls. So these feature our 5 new in colors: Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, and Strawberry Slush. You can see I've been using some of these. And I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. I'm actually going to switch it. I had the spatula end out. And I want to use I'm a little better with my pointer piercing tool. So let's see. I'm just going to put a couple of these out to add a little something. So I'm going to pair the biggest circle with the smallest, and that middle size I'll put up here. And you have a beautiful little gift box. It really didn't take you a whole lot of time. Now, I mentioned that in the first box here, I have a dozen Hershey Kisses, so that fits. And Dory did some other miscellaneous chocolates, but when I was putting together my box, I said, could you fit a gift card in there? Guess what? You can. It's a perfect size for a gift card. So you could put a gift card, probably not in the outer packaging that some of the stores give you, but if you have just a gift card like this, that would fit. 4 or so of these mini Hershey bars would fit. I don't think you want to do 6, but you could do 3 or 4 if you wanted. Chapsticks would fit. And I didn't have enough time, but I was thinking maybe a tea bag or 2 and a honey packet, maybe a mini spoon. There's lots of options you have for these boxes. So have fun, experiment. Maybe a little soap, a decorative soap maybe. I bet that would fit in here too. So again, lots of options. So here is your quick and cute slider matchbox, and I did make some more to show you. So Mother's Day is right around the corner here, so I made these 2. You can obviously change up the shape on the top of the box. I used punches, but you could use die cuts as well. So this is from the Perennial Postage Verbiage set, and our Heartfelt Hexagon punch. I love this bright, happy paper. I wanted to just use all of it. And this is the same paper, just it looks different whether you back it with the Blackberry Bliss or the Calypso Coral. And then I did make 2 more as well. This paper is from our Florals in Bloom DSP. I used our Modern Oval Punch, a different stamp set. I used all the same set of bling, just different colors here. And look at that, I love it. This one is Misty Moonlight, and this is Shaded Spruce. So it's kind of fun to see how the DSP changes almost a little bit, whether you back it with different colors. So there are our happy little boxes. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make them. If you are not already a subscriber here, I would love you to subscribe to the channel. I post videos here typically once a week, and you can see the different techniques that I use. If you're a fan of Facebook, you can find me there at The Faithful Stamper. And my website is thefaithfulstamper.stampinup.net. Be sure to check that out. As I mentioned earlier, our new annual catalog is live. It's good for 1 whole year. We have added new kits as of today, lots of new products and online exclusives. So there is a whole chunk of things online that you'll want to check out. And if you have any questions, you can comment or send me a message through Facebook at The Faithful Stamper. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care and happy crafting.